Days of Our Lives. Billy Flynn bids farewell to Chad DiMera after 12 years. For over a decade, his presence was as steadfast as the iconic Horton Town Square fountain, but on Tuesday, February 17, 2026, the sun set on a defining chapter of Days of Our Lives as Billy Flynn made his final appearance as Chad DiMera. The actor, who first stepped into the role in September 2014, closed out a transformative 12-year run, leaving behind a legacy of romance, intrigue, and a character who became inextricably linked with the fabric of Salem. Flynn's departure, which was first announced in March 2025, has been one of the most anticipated and prolonged goodbyes in recent soap history. Due to the show's extensive production schedule, filming up to 10 months in advance, viewers have been watching Flynn's swan song unfold in slow motion. For the actor, this long farewell has been a surreal experience. "I'm just ready for that chapter to be closed," Flynn admitted in a recent interview. "It feels like I'm lingering too long, and it's tough to start a new chapter when you're still in the other one." That new chapter, of course, is already underway. Flynn made the leap to CBS's The Young and the Restless in June 2025, where he now portrays Kane Ashby, reuniting with former Days head writer Josh Griffith. But before he could fully embrace his future in Genoa City, he had to give Salem one last, poignant moment. A love letter to Salem. The final scenes in a storyline that mirrored his real-life exit, Flynn's Chad departed the show alongside his on-screen children, Thomas, Carrie Christopher, and Charlotte Autumn Gendron, who also bid farewell to the Peacock streaming soap. While the door was left open for the character's return, it was the emotional weight of his goodbye that resonated most deeply with fans. The final episodes were a masterclass in heartfelt storytelling. Chad's last interactions were not with villains or high-octane drama, but with the family who defined his time in town. He shared poignant farewells with his brother, E.J. DiMera, Dan Feuerriegel, and the beloved Julie Williams, Susan Seaforth Hayes, reminiscing about how they had once helped each other through the grief of losing their respective spouses. His goodbyes to Jennifer Devereaux, Melissa Reeves, and Jack Devereaux, Matthew Ashford, were equally touching, with Chad assuring them that despite recent conflicts, they would always be his family. Flynn recently reflected on the significance of these on-screen goodbyes. "The stuff that's airing now is what I remember fondly because they are genuine goodbyes," he shared, specifically noting his scenes with Feuerriegel, Hayes, Reeves, and Ashford. Off-camera, the experience was just as moving. Flynn likened his final weeks on set to attending his own funeral, a bittersweet experience filled with unexpected love. He received heartfelt cards and well wishes from castmates like Ashley Puzimus, Holly Jonas, and connected with veterans like Deidre Hall, Marlena Evans, and James Reynolds, Abe Carver, who reminded him that Salem wouldn't be the same without him. More than a role, a journey of personal triumph for Billy Flynn, Chad DiMera was never just a job. It was the backdrop against which his entire adult life unfolded. In his farewell interviews, Flynn has been candid about the profound impact the show had on him. "Having a job changed my life, and everything in my life changed so much," he said. "I have 2 children, I got sober on the show, and it gave me a life beyond my wildest dreams, so it's hard to have anything other than gratitude for all of it." His connection to the character ran deep, often blurring the lines between fiction and reality. He revealed that some of Chad's most challenging moments, like losing his great love, Abigail, coincided with personal loss in his own life. "Things have all lined up with the character that made it, so I put more of Billy into Chad than I probably would have otherwise," Flynn explained. "There were moments in it that became like a love letter to my own kind of life." Among his countless storylines, Flynn holds the 2015 necktie killer arc in the highest regard. He credits that gripping narrative and the ensuing romance with Abigail as the catalyst that truly launched his tenure. I think it's the best storyline that the show has told in the 12 years that I was there, he declared. The success of Chabby, a super couple beloved by fans, was a source of immense pride, especially given the chemistry he shared with both Kate Mansi and Marcy Miller, the two actresses who portrayed Abigail. A shifting landscape in Salem. Flynn's exit is not an isolated incident but rather the centerpiece of a significant cast shakeup that is reshaping the landscape of Days of Our Lives. The show has recently undergone a period of transition, with the departures of several younger cast members in what insiders described as a New Year bloodbath. Carson Boatman, Johnny DiMera, Raven Bowens, Chanel Dupree DiMera, Ashley Puzimus, Holly Jonas, and Leo Howard, Tate Black, were all let go from the series in early 2026, leaving fans stunned and saddened. As these characters exit, others are returning to fill the void. This week alone has seen the returns of Sal Stowers, Lonnie Price, and Lamon Arki, Eli Grant, as series regulars, alongside guest appearances from Ivan Givera, Ivan Marius, and Peter Port, Dimitri von Leuschner. It's a period of flux that underscores the soap's commitment to evolving its long-range storytelling. What lies ahead? A new face for a familiar DiMera. The DiMera mansion may feel empty without Flynn, but the character of Chad DiMera will not be gone for long. In a twist of fate that highlights the incestuous nature of the soap opera world, Connor Floyd, who until recently played Chance Chancellor on The Young and the Restless alongside Flynn, will step into the role. Floyd is scheduled to make his debut as the recast Chad DiMera on April 21, 2026, and he will be joined by new actors taking over the roles of Thomas and Charlotte, who are expected to be aged up significantly. Flynn, for his part, is Floyd's biggest cheerleader. The two actors shared screen time on Y&R before Floyd's character was written off, and Flynn has nothing but praise for his successor. "I'm really excited to see what he does with it," Flynn said. "He's handsome, and such a sweet guy, and I think that he was the perfect choice to take over that part. I think it'll be good for everybody and let the character move on." As for Flynn, he is fully invested in his future at The Young and the Restless, hoping for longevity that mirrors his impressive run in Salem. "When I first started at Young and Restless, if you would have asked me to sign for the next 40 years, I would do that," he confessed. For the fans, the sight of Chad DiMera clutching a wedding photo of him and Abigail, taking one last look at the Horton living room, was a devastatingly beautiful finale. Billy Flynn didn't just play Chad DiMera. He inhabited him, grew with him, and ultimately, said goodbye to him with a grace and gratitude that mirrored the very best of the characters he brought to life. Salem will indeed be different without him.